Have you ever sat back and wondered what a fully interactive episode of Dragon Ball or Yu Yu Hakusho might be like? Well, hold on to your spirit swords, because there might be a game out there that feels like you could drop it in the middle of an old Toonami promo in the early 2000s and have young Chazman-like kids say, "Whoa, dang man, that looks pretty rad."
Government's almost destroyed.
Bobity's dominates the course of history.
Incredible fights, stupid raunchy humor, redemption stories, achieving next levels of greatness, just some of the staples of great anime. Asura, or Asura's Wrath, can it compare to some of the greatest animes created? Can it encompass all the great aspects that most animes take hundreds of episodes to develop in around 8 to 10 hours? Could Asura withstand a spirit bomb?
On the next.
In the universe of Asura's Wrath, you play as Asura, one of the 8 Guardian Generals led by Emperor Strata, whom seek to free their home planet Gaia, or pretty much Earth, from the Goma, an evil race of strange creatures that stem from Gaia itself. At the head of the Goma is Vlitra, a large tentacle-like being with a large mouth that when threatened can protrude itself from Earth or Gaia to better counteract attackers. For me, Vlitra and the Goma are easily one of the weaker points of Asura's Wrath, mainly due to their design. Because the Goma stem from Earth, they only take the shape of gorillas, turtles, elephants, rhinos, fish, and rocks, which for me got dull pretty fast after the first few fights. Vlitra has a slightly more interesting design. Seeing it blast its way through Earth was pretty amusing every time it happened, although you would think it would have annihilated all life on Gaia after 1 or 2 awakenings. I mean, look at this crap. The more interesting plot element is definitely the drama and backstabbing within the ranks of the 8 Guardian Generals and its leadership. The 8 Guardian Generals consist of Deus, the primary leader of the generals and main antagonist. He's a pretty basic anime villain who believes that what he's doing is always the right thing, even if it means betrayal and sacrificing people. And yes, he monologues. August, easily my favorite character in the game. He's Asura and Yasha's former master, and is neutral in all his political stances. He's just in it for the fighting, booze, and babes. That dirty hornball. He and Asura have my favorite scene in the game, accompanied by freaking classical music.
This will do. It's just you and me. Time to raise some hell! I don't fight for good, and I don't fight for evil. I just fight. I will say it once more. I am you, and you are me. I am nothing like you.
Olga. She really doesn't do much other than be your required hot anime character. Just an annoying teacher's pet to Deus. Calro. Doesn't do any of the physical work, but mainly is the wise elder of the Guardians, who uses brains to achieve Deus's ultimate goals. He and Asura have a very close moment in the game. Sergei is the effeminate sicko of the group, who takes pleasure in death and just wants to see pain inflicted on the Gaia citizens. Zen is just the typical good soldier, following Deus's orders to a T. His battle with Asura is pretty massive and thoroughly entertaining. For me, he's one of the more interesting of the lower level generals. Oh, and he gets huge and gives Asura the finger.
I am Wisen of the Seven Deities. I am an absolute being that protects this world and its mortals. Asura the Destructor, you do not belong in this world.
Yasha is the brother of Asura's wife, Durga, and uncle to Mithra, who I'll get to in a bit. He is Deus's right-hand man and Asura's longtime rival. If you watch anime, you can kinda guess where he will end up. Full of naivety, he truly believes what Deus and the generals are doing is good for humanity, but eventually disagrees with the direction and aggressiveness they take to gain power. He's also got the best theme song in the game. You can always tell his theme song because of the Wild West whistling going on, with rockin' techno behind it. And now to Asura. Essentially an adult Bakugo, just angry and off-putting 99% of the time, constantly refusing help and telling people off, other than Mithra and Durga, of course. His idea of solving any problem in the game is the use of his fists. He too is pretty neutral in his stances of things, like his master August. So for me, the main plot for Asura's Wrath kinda has a hole in it. Basically, to fight off the Goma and take their home back, the Shinkoku, the 8 generals, and the Emperor build a giant machine, the Brahmastra, that can harvest the souls of the citizens of Gaia and use the power to focus a beam to strike at Vlitra. Well, at the base level this seems fine, but in the game it is known that the Goma are a part of Gaia, and are angry that the souls of the Gaians aren't returning to Gaia itself. So pretty much if the generals stop taking the souls, there's no Goma? Why take the souls then? I mean, I get it, a game has to happen. Still, it's kind of weird. I'll leave it alone. Mithra, daughter of Asura, has the power to max the abilities of anyone using mantra, or souls, and is the priestess of the Shinkoku. During a battle with Vlitra, Mithra uses her abilities to strengthen Asura, allowing him to defeat Vlitra temporarily. After the battle, Deus and the generals decide to frame Asura for murdering Emperor Strata. Then they murder Asura's wife, Durga, and take Mithra in the hopes of using her powers to the fullest, even if it means killing her, with the means of empowering themselves and defeating Vlitra for good. Asura, enraged because of everything, is killed by Deus after confronting the generals and attempting to save Mithra. Asura awakens in the underworld and is greeted by a golden spider who motivates him to return to Gaia and unleash his wrath on those that wronged him and save his daughter. Work your way up that 7 general tower and prove that your wrath is mightiest. Okay, so let's get to what may be the deal breaker for most people in Asura's Wrath, the gameplay. Generally how the chapters operate is, you're treated to a cutscene, which sometimes has QTEs dispersed throughout. Then a situation will lead to a combat section similar to games like God of War or Devil May Cry. Within combat sections, you have normal and heavy attacks, a long-range attack, counters, and normally a few other QTE attack opportunities. Filling up Asura's unlimited gauge allows him to unleash a more powerful heavy attack that typically the enemy cannot block or fight through. The real goal in combat is to fill up Asura's burst gauge, which accrues after damage. Once full, the fight is basically over with the press of a button. Now, I hate to say it, but I wasn't dreading these sections, but I definitely wasn't looking forward to them either. The Goma and Shinkoku army fights, generally which are like 50 to 75% of the fights, really couldn't end sooner for me. A few of the boss fights with Waizen, Yasha, August, and others are definitely more entertaining and bring more to the table in terms of variety. Surprisingly, the most engaging gameplay aspects are the QTEs in the cutscenes, excellently infused with the crisp anime fighting and the cutscenes are always a delectable treat after fighting sections. You get through your hot dog with no condiment dinner, and for dessert, you're treated to cheesecake, Oreo ice cream, and vanilla pudding. There are also some shooting sections spread out throughout the game. They're pretty simple, only requiring you to spam your normal and heavy attacks and dodge. I found them fun nonetheless, and a good way to break up some of the monotony of combat and the cutscenes. What helps blur the line between anime and video game in Asura's Wrath is its overall presentation. The campaign is broken up into 3 chapters, and each chapter contains 6 episodes that for me normally took between 15 to 30 minutes to complete, almost a carbon copy of most anime, which I loved. Of course, before and after each episode, there are previously on Asura's Wrath, and next time on Asura's Wrath episode updates, which set the mood and give you a glimpse into what you're about to step into. I definitely once or twice played an extra episode when wanting to go to bed, just because the end card showed me some massive battle I would partake in. Is Asura's Wrath the type of game that only anime nerds like myself would pick up and geek out over? I don't necessarily think so, but a deep fondness for anime or simple action hack-and-slash games definitely would not hurt. The game's presentation, pseudo-cel-shaded art design, cutscenes, music, QTE sections, and as a whole, its style, hold the title up. So yes, I'd advocate for you to give this game a try, with the caveat, some of the hack-and-slash sections weren't super enthralling, and the story can be pretty anime typical. Well, I hope you liked the game as much as I did, and look forward to hearing about your experiences in the game. Hey guys, Chazman here. Just want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you like my content and you want additional stuff, don't forget to go to my Patreon, enter _Chazman. Thanks for watching. I love you. Be safe.